What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time to talk some fantasy football. Where have I been for the last 7 weeks, right? Everybody's dying to know what's going on with Jeff and fantasy football. Yeah, I'm sure you are. But I know it's been a crazy year, a lot of things going on, and I just didn't have the opportunity to break down fantasy football. I actually came up with another idea to interview some of my, brightest minds in fantasy football, but I got turned down for a few interviews, so it's just me came up with this new idea. First of all, this beer here I got on tap is single cut Watt 18, and it's significant because tonight's episode or whatever theme is what I got right, what I got wrong, and what, So let's get into it right away. I broke it down by position. I don't want to keep you too long, but let's just talk about quarterbacks. So quarterbacks, what did I get wrong? Russell Wilson. I got Russell Wilson wrong. I always think, I always kind of save my quarterback down the line. Let everybody else go after the higher tier ones. And Russell Wilson usually finds himself up in that higher tier, but when the season's over, maybe not that great of a separation between a middle tier type quarterback. I'm talking top 10, whatever. Never enough value for me to go after him early. Well, and then one of my owners went after him way earlier than I thought he should. I kind of giggled at the time. Well, guess what? He's giggling at me. Totally got that wrong. He's having a phenomenal year, and he's got that separation between the middle of the pack this year. What did I get right? Well, instead of drafting Russell Wilson, I waited and I took Aaron Rodgers. Everybody said not everybody, but a lot of people said Aaron Rodgers was going to have a down year. They're going to be a run-first offense. He doesn't have the arm he used to. All that stuff. And he comes out and he just explodes. So I waited and I grabbed Aaron Rodgers in a lot of my leagues, and I was very happy. So he's been doing a great job. And how about the what? So it didn't impact me at all, but Lamar Jackson. A lot of people were, this is that top tier that I talked about. The people go after the top tier quarterbacks. They do it early in the draft. People who grab Lamar Jackson have to be disappointed in what he's been doing this year. So not so much for the Baltimore, but for your fantasy football team. So that's what I got for quarterbacks. Let me know your thoughts. Who'd you get right? Who'd you get wrong? Who was your what? I'd love to hear it. Put them in the comments. Okay, running backs. So running backs, there's a couple here. So I went with, who did I get wrong? Clyde EdwardsHelaire. Maybe a lot of people did, maybe not. I mean, when you see him, he's going to be the starting running back for the Chiefs. He's got great hands. He's going to catch a lot of balls. It's going to be phenomenal, especially in a PPR league. I really thought he was going to explode. There was no way I thought anybody would trade or pick up another running back for him at this part in the season. Of course, now Bell's there. So, really got that wrong. And before I go any further, I also want to take a step back and say, I didn't factor in injuries to any of this. If somebody got hurt, of course they're disappointing. Or if somebody got an opportunity because somebody got hurt, of course they're producing. So I excluded that kind of stuff. So, all right, back to it. So that's who I got wrong. Clyde the Glide. What did I get right? So for me, it's James Conner. So James Conner, a lot of people were down on him. They didn't think he would be as good as he was. They drafted Anthony McFarland. They got Benny Snell there. They just maybe the offense wasn't going to be as explosive. He gets hurt a lot. He did get hurt. But he's having a solid year when he's there. So besides the games that he was hurt, he's getting, 95% of the touches out of that backfield. And with the Steelers, he gets an opportunity to score a little bit more. He catches some balls out of the backfield. Solid number 2 running back for you in fantasy football, and people were scared of him. I took a chance. I got him right, I would say. The big what? So, and when we all went through the draft, I think we looked at the Jacksonville Jaguars, and after Fournette left, was like, I don't know, I guess I'll take Chris Thompson, or take a chance on somebody, just hoping. Nobody would have thought James Robinson would be having the year he's having. Right now in one of my leagues, he's 4th in points. I got him off the waiver wire. So did some other people. So it's like, what? Where did he come from? I thought that was awesome. So I'm pretty excited about him. Receivers. Who did I get wrong? There's 2 that I got wrong. Well, there's probably more than 2, but I'm just going to share one of them with you. Tyler Lockett. I knew he had a big season last year, and this goes back to the Russell Wilson piece in the quarterback area. He had a big season last year. I didn't think he was going to repeat. I didn't think Wilson was going to have the season he's having. I knew Metcalf was there. I thought he was going to eat into it. And so I drafted Allen Robinson over Tyler Lockett. very, very disappointed in that move. And so that's the big disappointment. The big one that I got wrong, I think, was Tyler Lockett. I didn't expect him to be as good as he has been. Expected him to be solid, but not what he's doing. Who did I get right? I'm going to give you two because I feel like I'm cheating on one of them. So the first one is DeAndre Hopkins. I got him right. And the reason I say that was I was approached in the beginning of the season, before the season started. Somebody wanted to trade me for him. And they were offering peanuts, I would say. And I came back and I said, look, I have him ranked second as a receiver behind Michael Thomas. Now, Michael Thomas hasn't played a game yet, but I was pretty close. He's ranked third behind Lockett and Metcalf after the last week he had. So he's third in the one league that I'm scoring in, and people had him like 8th receiver. So I was pretty right about that. But you could say that's cheating, Jeff. He's a good talent. Who cares if he came from the Texans to the Cardinals? Whatever. Okay, I'll give you another one I was right about that I think other people might have got wrong. Juju Smith-Schuster. I think a lot of people thought with Big Ben back and the way the Steelers, their defense is going to be, he's going to score a lot and he's going to get right back into it like when Antonio Brown was there. Never thought he was going to be much after Antonio Brown left. He's more of a Robin than he is a Batman. And so I stayed away from him while other people jumped on him. I think I was right there. I'm pretty excited about that. The what, as far as receiver, that was tough for me. I'm going to say probably the biggest surprise for me was Stefon Diggs. I didn't expect him to be doing what he's doing. You know, you see a lot of receivers go to the Bills and just not pan out. A lot of times when receivers move teams, at least previously, they weren't that successful. And with the run game that they have there, the multiple backs, their quarterback who's playing well, I didn't expect him to do that well either. But Stefon Diggs was a surprise for me, not on my radar anywhere. And so I couldn't even tell you when I would have drafted him, but wish I did. He's surprisingly doing pretty well. So again, comments below on quarterback, running back, receiver, who is your what? Who is the guy you got right and wrong? I'd love to hear your thoughts. One more position to go into. I'm going to do kickers. Tight ends. So tight ends for me, what did I get wrong? This is a funny one. So the year before, not this past year, this past year, right? Austin Hooper had a great year for the Falcons, okay? And he jets and goes and follows the money and goes to the Browns. So, as a good fantasy owner, you're left to wonder, was it Austin Hooper or was it the offense? We know the Falcons have a pretty good offense until the fourth quarter. But, you know, you're questioning there. So, my theory was, draft them both. When I get a chance and I can go back to back, I'm going to take Austin Hooper and Hayden Hurst. Bang. I got them both covered. If it was the talent, he'll be great in the Browns. If it was the system, I'll get Hurst. Now, Hurst is starting to come along a little bit here in the later weeks, but pretty much I got that wrong. I thought we'd get a top 3 tight end out of those two. So that theory was wrong. What did I get right? What did I get right is I truly believe, and I still think this is accurate, and you can argue with me, that there's only 2 tight ends worth drafting. Kittle and Kelsey. In whatever order you want. Probably Kelsey over Kittle. Again, I know Kittle got hurt just recently, but prior to that, I don't think there's any... I mean, you could say Jonnu Smith is having a good year, but he has his down games. There's no tight end. Mark Andrews, no. There's no real separation between anybody else. He could have a good game, just like Evan Ingram could have a good game. You know what I mean? Like, so, for me, I think I got that right. There's nobody worth drafting at tight end besides those two. Just wait until everybody else is done and take whoever you want and then pick people off the waiver wire. How about the what? So for me, it's Gronk. I think a lot of people early on drafted him, at least in the leagues I was in, because, hey, Tom Brady's there. And I do, there was an O.J. Howard injury that might have impacted this, but I don't really think so. I think what happened was, in the beginning of the season, he wasn't in football shape, wasn't used to playing after his time off, and now he's starting to get his groove. I mean, the Buccaneers are losing everybody, their receivers are not playing, but he's starting to really come along, and I was surprised, especially after the way he started. That's the best I could do for a what? With the tight end. So, a lot of talking there, I'm starting to lose my voice, just kidding. But hopefully that was interesting, funny, comical, or and you listened to the end. Again, If you have any comments, put them below. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. And if you enjoyed it, like to hear it, I'll do it more than waiting 8 weeks in between posts. So, all right, thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.